She's saying no, but
she's mad that she still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Sean Whaley is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
Oh, if you didn't know, now you know. Welcome in, everyone, to a brand new episode of Axe Kick Picks, episode 215. Today is February 6th. The year is 2026. Kid, I used to love these post-pay-per-view shows, but no more. Just number cards.
Yeah,
needless to say, how we doing? How's your Friday going?
Good. Yeah, we just got out of work, man. We're going to lock into some more plays. And, bro, Philly's going to be hyped this weekend. You know, I said it. CFFC, I did not know it was going to be there tonight. And then you just followed up with Knucklemania. And I'm sure everyone, regardless of the birds being out down in Philly, they're going to be watching Super Bowl. You know, a lot of diehard sports fans over there.
The place to be is down I-95 in the disgusting city of Philadelphia. I was there for the press conference. I do have a few videos coming out later today. My second media credential is really good. People in BKFC, they are first class. Really nice people, everyone. I'll say this, though. Wild, wild west out there.
A little bit, right?
A little bit. But, I mean, it's exciting. Everyone was pumped up. We were at the live casino right across the street from Citizens Bank Park. On the way. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Citizens Bank. The link is right around the corner as well. I've been there. Spit at the ground because I'm a Met fan and I will never root for the Phillies. So, but yeah, good. It was a good event. The people are top class at BKFC, so it's always nice to go there. And yeah, I'll be at the fights tomorrow night in Philly at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. So that is locked and loaded. Kid, we had some fights going on earlier in the day, right?
Yeah, you know, there was one. I'm pretty sure ACA. There was a lot of upsets there, I think. And I mean,
LFA?
if you're trying to tune into LFA tonight, Fury Fighting is on. Yeah, I think that's about it for tonight. I mean, it's going to be hard to match up with UFC even on an Apex night. You know what I mean? And then you got Knucklemania following that. And then I heard you got some ball sports. So, I mean, there's a lot to watch this weekend.
Even PFL Dubai. That's going under the radar as well.
That's what I forgot. And that's going to be featured on 10 Seconds Left later this segment. And that's tomorrow, like afternoon, right? In the morning?
Yeah. It's in the afternoon. But Rizen's president is over in Dubai right now, watching the fights. Do you think moving forward we could have two of the companies work together, Rizin and PFL?
Well, didn't they and Rizin just announce they're going to do some sort of kind of like conglomerate?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I saw some report where Rizin was going to not merge, but they're going to have like that. You know, they had that once before, where they like took on another organization. It might have been Bellator before they got taken over by the PFL.
R.I.P. Bellator.
R.I.P. Scott Coker.
Yeah, legend in the game. But yeah, we got a great episode for you guys. I mean, there's a lot to unpack. We got the Royal Rumble. We got 325. We got, I mean, what a masterclass. I wish I had a Shakur shirt on right now. What a masterclass putting on for Brick City, Newark. Just decimated Timofo Lopez. So we'll talk about that. Like Joe said, no off weeks here in the UFC. We're back at the beautiful Meta Apex for UFC Vegas 113. BKFC Knucklemania 6 tomorrow night in Philly. So we'll have preview and predictions there. We'll have some news towards the end. And Joey will go on the other side of the world to end it in PFL Dubai. But, kid, I want to start. I kind of want to go chronologically. We will start in the Royal Rumble, right?
That's fair.
Now, we've watched WWE, I would say, 90% of our lives. We watched the WWE. This was not one of the best Royal Rumbles that I've seen, especially with the women's. Liv Morgan did get the win. She debuted at number 2. You know, it came down to the 3, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, and Ruka at the end. And, you know,
she's a good one, actually. So
she's cool.
Yeah. It's high flyer.
Morgan was the winner, and it's just, you know, it really didn't put it over the top. I gave it a C.
I would give the men's a C. I might give.
We'll get to it, but
Yeah, I might
what
give
about women's?
the women's. I think I'll go a letter grade above. It wasn't an A, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say it was a B. I think they pulled the right strings. Brie Bella coming out was funny.
Yeah.
Maybe we get them involved in a tag team, and kind of revitalize the vision there. But you needed to push who's the hot one.
Mm-hmm.
It might be the hottest female wrestler. I think across all promotions, AEW included, but it's time. She came close. Last year she finished second, I think, in a Royal Rumble. And back in the day, she had a bunch of top 4 finishes. So it was about time that she got over the hump. And yeah, I mean, her and Dom, it's going to be all eyes on that matchup. Did she? I know we had a quick turnaround. I know we're talking about the men's though. Did she say who she's going after?
I didn't watch Raw the next day.
I might have missed it. I doubt she actually had made a decision yet, because you want to probably build that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's it was a little bit cleaner than the men's. And that's the thing. I know I'm not jumping it up and down, but it's just the comparison to the men's. I actually think the women's did a little bit cleaner job. You weren't eliminating a Brock Lesnar during an entrance. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. And you got the point across with someone who needed the Royal Rumble. And I think that's the comparison. You give the Royal Rumble to somebody who can need it, unless they're winning it multiple times, like a Shawn Michaels or a Stone Cold who's only going to win it 3. Then it's like kind of a legacy win. But at a certain point, those who might not have a chance, like you did with Jey Uso last year, you give them the Royal Rumble and they could push themselves to the world title at WrestleMania. I mean, sometimes there's no other way but to win that. And, she got her shine. That's why I argue I don't think Roman really needed it, but Liv certainly did.
One of the most anticipated matches was AJ Styles versus the Ring General. And
I didn't like either decision in both of those singles matches.
I like this one better than the women's. I gave this one like a B+. I didn't mind it. Styles put his career on the line against Gunther, and they started with like the headlock sequence, and that was kind of crazy. And I thought it paced itself pretty well. And from a technical standpoint, I thought it was a really good match. Obviously, 2 really good professionals in there. However, I felt like
landed awkward.
Yeah, there were times when it felt like they were taking it a little too slow, and it kept the fight from like reaching its peak until later than expected, in my opinion. So it didn't make a big difference, but it was noticeable to me at least. So, he may be one of the more dominant stars on the roster. Love him, hate him, you watch. And that's Gunther. So
yeah,
they
do a good job. I talked about it, building bad guys, and he's the top villain right now. There is no question about it. And I meant like what it landed awkward is just the retirement. It was for his career. But AJ Styles did not put down his glove, so it's like, what was the point of that match?
Yeah, and it felt like Gunther, he did a good job making AJ Styles look like a dangerous fighter, and kind of selling it at the right time. So it felt like the longer it worked, the better the match was, in my opinion. So
I could see that.
I kind of like that. Obviously, you had the Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. That's another one. I gave it a B. I thought it was a good fight. I guess I'm just gutted that they can't just give Sami Zayn the fucking title.
That's what I thought more. I was like surprised that you liked, but either one of them at all. I guess it's fair to say that you like the AJ Styles. The AJ Styles match more than the Sami Zayn match, just because it's Sami Zayn. You thought it would be his final chance, and I genuinely was going to stand on this hill and die on this hill that I don't think there's ever a chance for Sami Zayn to win the title.
0-12 now,
and he's 0-13 against Drew McIntyre. So I don't think he'll ever going to win against Drew McIntyre, and I don't think he'll ever become a main event champion, a main card champion.
No, they work good together. I'll say that. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre, but they're at the end watching it, I was like, there was never a doubt that they were going to give Sami Zayn. He kicked out a few times, which, kept the outcome from being as predictable. But the more the fight went on, you knew Drew McIntyre was going to win, as expected. And I went with my heart in that one because I root for Sami Zayn. I think he's a great star. The fans love him. I just wish they could give him a fucking title for a month. Jeez. I mean, I'm not even saying give him a hell of a run. I'm just saying give him for – they gave CM Punk 5 minutes?
It's over. It's over for
Yeah.
Sammy. I just don't. I
So-
think maybe they don't see it in him, unfortunately, and especially all the complaints we're hearing about Triple H and how he's booking shows and booking talent. That might be a big flub, and maybe he, unfortunately, for as many people that love Sammy, that "Let's Go" is always loud every time he comes out. It's not. He's not hearing it from the back. He's not hearing it from Gorilla. So I just don't think they think highly of him, unfortunately.
And then the men's Royal Rumble. Again, I just gave it a B. I thought the whole thing was just like,
Rushed.
to me. It
Once
felt
again,
rushed.
I'm watching shows that are being rushed. I'm watching talent in the WWE storyline. I'm seeing we as people. I don't know if they think our attention spans are too small now or not long enough. But I think that they need to reassess what they're doing at the corporate standpoint to promote these type of things. I think they're not giving us enough credit as a population. Like, we're smart. We understand synopsises. We are, we understand storylines, and we can wait. If you sometimes let that thing simmer, sometimes the expectation is that it's going to be a great end. Sometimes you rush right through things and we miss an ending that could be fantastic, or we miss the storyline altogether. Sometimes it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey you take us on. And I think they're forgetting that.
Yeah, you started with Obi Femi, number 1, Braun Breaker.
That was
almost
insane.
Immediately eliminated. I mean,
he was immediately eliminated.
It was just
he got
so
beat up a
sad.
little bit, but as soon as he became eligible in the ring,
They
Obafemi
eliminated him.
knocked him out. We did hit the Obafemi most eliminations, though.
Most eliminations. We did hit that. Final 4. Logan Paul, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and Gunther. When I was rooting for either Roman because he is my tribal chief.
They
I
should
did
have had
acknowledge
LA
him.
Knight, not Gunther, in the Final 4.
Yes, that I was almost rooting for Jacob Fatu, if I'm being honest.
When he
as
came out, I
well.
was like, oh, he might do something.
Yeah. But it showed me, and this is the second time Gunther finished runner-up. They're really trying to push him as
every
well.
which way, everywhere.
Yeah.
He's just a threat. And mind you, he did just have the title before losing it to Drew.
Mm-hmm. I was rooting for Randy. The kid in me was like,
bro, yeah, I was like, if we get to see Randy, it's over, bro.
Oh,
Las Vegas, that would have been
headlining WrestleMania one last time. That would be amazing. But I was happy. I know you said, I don't see no point putting Roman winning it.
It didn't need it, but I understand it will put butts in the seats.
Yes, and he is the person that carried this company for 15 years. He is our tribal chief, and he will go after the best to ever do it in CM Punk. And they're gonna headline WrestleMania.
They hate each other.
Oh,
I think there is a
love
personal beef too.
I love it. I can't wait for WrestleMania. It's in Vegas, right?
Yeah, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was just thinking about my cousin, how he had Oakland Die Hard, and both his teams got moved, Athletics and the Raiders, to Vegas. But I'm like, hey, that's a great place to be at a certain part of the year where you could probably catch everything. You can catch a fight, catch a baseball game, catch a football game. Why not? And hey, Golden Knights are there too.
You mentioned having Reigns win it wasn't the best, but you understand it. It wasn't the most exciting. I will agree with you. But the match as a whole, I felt like was more fun than the women's. And, a lot of deserving superstars, got time to shine. And I feel like several storylines also advanced in there. It might have not been the ending or the result that you specifically or people wanted. But let's be honest, Joe, it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, yeah. I think that's what it is. It's like you talked about. It's being a little fickle. We know bad times and we know good times. We know when it's up and when it's down. But I'm bullish on it. I'm not bearish at this moment in time on the company.
Yeah, so we'll see. But overall, I thought it was average. I thought it was average. It could have been worse. We are on to Vengeance Day, WWE NXT Vengeance Day, then Elimination Chamber at the end of the month, February 28th. That is going to be I'm going to be trying to catch that in Bulgaria. But Elimination Chamber, February 28th at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. You and I were out there. We've been to the United Center. So, yeah, should be really good. We are on the road to WrestleMania. Roman, did you see him? He pointed at the sign. A little cheesy. I mean, growing up, I was like, point to the side.
But I think also with Roman, it's like pushing him to be arguably the GOAT, right? We just came off John Cena, arguably the GOAT. You're getting, Roman Reigns with his literal reign of how long he had the belt. The only one to have more than that is the legend Bruno Sammartino. Paisan.
Paisan. But yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't even think of that, but he has to be up there. Whether you hate him, love him, you watched. And you have to acknowledge him. Let's go to 325. It went right in, down, under. And, to be honest, another one where it was kind of like dull in the beginning. They had a couple of the Road to UFC ones. And then it all started in the prelims with my boy. We're going to go from beginning to main event. My boy Oban. Can you talk about the last couple fights for him, because it looked like it was a good 3-4 minutes, and then
his first round he looked so sharp, like he was tagging bro at the end of his punches, but it's like he forgot how to grapple.
Yeah,
I thought that was one of his strong suits too. You've seen some of his highlights; he was getting some submissions, but he was outclassed on the mat.
Yeah, it was not a good fight for Oban. It was a first good 3 minutes. He was moving the feet. He was in and out. He was fast, and I was like, to be honest, I almost live bet him. And then I went in. I think I went to go get food, and I came back, and he was getting choked out.
Worst mistake. Don't ever leave.
I said, thank God I didn't put money on that. Yeah. The next fight in the middleweight, you could tell DC was kind of mad. Torius Phineas, his boy, and he wound up losing.
Bro, that's
to
flat
Jacob
foot. I don't know. It's like, was that hindering him, or he got a little hurt in there?
He did get hurt. Yes.
Malkoun's a tank, bro. I think he had his own injury troubles, and taking the time off. We said rust don't exist. He came back looking pretty good. Jacob Malkoun.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And who doesn't look good, and you were right to fade him. Always fade him. Cody Brundage. This guy
he's got to go. I mean, he's done the what is it, the roulette wheel. Like, if you saw his last 5, it's like he has a win, don't get me wrong, but he has 2 different types of losses. He has a draw and a no contest. I mean, he's literally competed the trifecta.
Yeah, 100%. And then, the featured bout in the prelims, Junior Tafa. What's going on with the Tafa brothers? Because this is another one in his home country to get submitted like that in the second round. I know he was the underdog, but damn.
It's just another thing, not only the Taffa brothers, but we will pass it when we get to the main card. I think, unfortunately, for these one-sided fighters like Junior, Justin Taffa, and even Tai Tuivasa, maybe going to a sport where there's no grappling involved will be best for them.
Yeah, it might be, but yeah, prelims, again, average, and then it started. I mean, this guy, they need to put a rocket to him.
And, shoot him out into outer space, bro, because Quillen Salkill, his parents own a bakery.
And I love it because the full violence is
they're killing it.
They're killing
it.
And,
great.
And he's making money with the whole bakery thing, having muffins. They brought muffins to the fighter meeting, and he's going into it, which I like.
You should. If anything comes naturally, you embrace it.
He's ready for a top 15 opponent.
I think he's a top 15 fighter at his age, dude. I think he can grapple. You've seen it. He's knocking people out with his hands, with his feet. He's got the full package, and he's got the personality.
Malarkey's not one of these average fighters. Jamie Malarkey's been around, and he's a decent fighter. He's not a scrub by no means, but Quillen Salkill made him look like a regional fighter.
Yeah.
He really did, and that's no disrespect. It's just how good Quillen is.
Because look, he's gotten his last 4 losses had been way of finish and a knockout way, but he has wins scattered in there. Jimmy Larker always brings the fight. And Quillen Salkill just brought it right back to him, and there was no answer from Jamie Malarkey.
I wish I did inside the distance because I thought he was going to knock him out, but he wound up getting the submission.
You and I both did.
Yeah.
It was something there. It was like minus 130 for the KO ticket. We're like, that's a deal. Like, this is going to happen.
Yeah, and then he goes out there and submits him. I love it, though.
He's nice, bro. He's good, bro.
Joe, you and I have been friends, 20-something years, 25 years almost?
Yeah.
We have hard conversations with one another, with family, with friends. I think someone needs to have a sit down and a hard conversation with Ty. And I don't want to cut him, and I'm not in the business of doing that, but I think he could sell. People will go and see him, but 0-6, something needs to change.
He's going to have to stay at heavyweight. He's not going to be able to. He was cut in the 265, almost missed. I don't know if it's the conditioning has always been that sloppy third round was horrible to watch, but you've always gotten that out of Ty's fight. Yeah, both of them. But for Ty, especially, I mean, coming off of the amount of losses he's had consecutively, it's just worrisome. And yeah, I get the UFC. He could sell, but it's you don't
What
know
they
what kind
give
of
Tony
product you're
Ferguson
getting.
8?
No, I actually think BJ Penn has the most losses
Exactly. But well, they're like champions.
consecutively.
You know,
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, it's like you give him a little more rope than Ty,
Mm-hmm.
who hasn't. I don't think he's even challenged for a belt.
No.
I just think that he has a lot of skills on the feet, and he's a threat. It's just the inability to stuff the takedown. And like you said, maybe talking to the team and see what he wants to do. And honestly, if he's going to stay with the UFC, there's not that deep of a pull at heavyweight. And that's the problem, because you're like, okay, he could fight someone outside the top 15. But who's outside the top 15 for him to fight? Unfortunately, sometimes leaving the organization could be best. And maybe he could find his way back in. So that's what my takeaway is. Maybe the conversation should be is that, like, if the UFC isn't going to cut you, maybe you should cut ties with them, reinvent yourself, and then maybe find yourself back. And I know he's not the youngest, but it's something, anything got to be done that's going to be better than this.
Yeah, I understand. And if you do want to cut ties and, maybe not have them cut you, there's 2 promotions I think he would do well in. Dirty Boxing.
Yeah.
And BKFC, where I'm going.
BKFC.
And I think it makes the most sense, even to the eye test.
I heard something about like Rizin and Bare Knuckle maybe working something as we started the show with, so that might have been in the works, but that would be crazy. I know the only Bare Knuckle MMA that I've seen was Gamebred, Jorge Masvidal's promotion. Where's that been?
I was just gonna say, where the fuck's that been?
No, I would like to see that. I mean, they had a lot of stretchers and gnarly,
wow.
Bro.
I guess for a positive, Towson Teixeira went 3 rounds for the first time, so that's a positive, right?
Yeah, I'm not too high on the guy. I hate to say it. Yeah, like I think he took advantage of Ty being in the gutter at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Performance of the night, Mauricio Rufy. I mean,
wow.
Whoa, I did not see this
one shot
coming.
His nickname. And
training with Volk, going down there. I saw a little bad blood down there with them in the Fighting Nerds with him and some people, but he did say he's gonna continue to stay in Australia and train.
He's training with Volk, bro.
And when you train with the best featherweight of all time, you are going to get better. And we saw it. It was a little shaky the first round. I actually gave Rafael Fiziev the first round.
10-9. You could nod it to him, yeah.
And then Rufy came out, and you're like, at first I said, wow, Rufy's not, he hasn't changed anything. And then he came out and was like, nah, fuck this. Like, we're going to fight.
This favors him in a match like this where he didn't have to, we just seen a big thorn in the side for a lot of these fighters is the grappling. We've seen Rufy get challenged there and not really have anything for him. When you're fighting a guy like Rafael Fiziev, you're going to be in a stand-up battle, and Rufy is a master of distance control. You can see how he sets up his shots. He knows that he's going to be able to surpass you with his shots, whether it's the kicks or the punches. And you could see where he wound it up after punching Fiziev in the face. He was about 2 bodies lengths past him. So Rufy is just dangerous when it comes to distance control.
Were you surprised he was able to put away Fiziev?
I mean, has he lost by KO, TKO, and any other time in his career? This was the first person to knock him out, no?
Yeah, I believe so.
I was absolutely surprised. Yeah, that shot was beautiful, man. That pipe right down the middle, boom. And he was in the same sense. He couldn't recover, and he was on him, and he did everything right in there. I think you can always argue if we want to see because a champion like Alex Volkanovski is going to be able to grapple, but maybe Rufy's getting that work in. Maybe Craig Jones is getting there. So I would like to see him tested there before we get him into the top 5 into a title.
I mean, after the Dustin Poirier loss from BSD, he's won 4 in a row, and he is just on a fucking mission right now, this man. I mean, he submitted Rufy. He knocked out Benny Dariush. He knocked out Dan Hooker. I mean, he's one away, I think. I mean, this guy is fucking for real. And I think the Dustin Poirier loss was the best thing for him.
Yeah, that fight was great. And it was in a tough spot in Miami. I remember that. I got lost in a damn bar in New Jersey.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, bro. 288, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to give him the nod. I mean, especially with everything that's going on at 155, right? Like, is Armin coming back? Is Ilya going to be there? Gaethje's going to have to defend the interim belt? Like, yeah, I think BSD has kind of proven himself. So it just comes up to the availability of other fighters. If they're not, BSD, his warrior spirit, his soldier is going to come alive, and he's going to be ready to step up when he needs to.
I mean, we did hear Ilya is back. He settled the dispute with his ex-wife and his child, so he is back training. I don't think Justin's going to defend the interim. I think it's going to be Justin versus Ilya
for the undisputed.
For
so
the
that
undisputed,
means BSD's got to fight Armin
or the winner of Charles and Max.
Oh, BSD go for the BMF?
No, just number
Armin.
one contender. I think it's just I just think it's a caveat.
It's just that they got the belt. Whoever is that, they won't be defending it if they do match up with any of the title talent.
I think Ilya is going to either headline or chief support the White House card.
Wow.
Armin, we'll see. I mean, I think he's deserving, but it's not a meritocracy.
No.
So,
like I said, maybe that's what they do. Honestly, they put Armin with BSD. They haven't fought.
No, but and even though Armin will be a 3-1 favorite, you can't count out the special forces guy.
No, bro. No, absolutely. And I think as good as a wrestler as Armin can be, I think Benoit can match up there. So this, how two great grapplers or two great strikers cancel out, could wind up being a stand-up affair.
And in the main event, the fight of the night, Alexander Volkanovski defeated Diego Lopez via unanimous decision, 49-46 times 2 and 50-45.
As the whole.
And to be honest, kid, out of 10 rounds, I think there's a legitimate argument he won all 10.
I was going to say, you could say Diego Lopez maybe won one with the clubbing right hand in the second of the first fight or the drop in the fourth, but that's about it.
He didn't change anything. And I was extremely surprised that Diego is I like Diego Lopez. I really do. I think he's an exciting fighter. I think he has power.
Yep.
But it seems like when he gets to these opportunities, big moments, he doesn't change anything.
He had that opportunity, Mosvar, and granted, it was like his debut, stepping up as such a high-level challenger. He, he kind of like choked. He had the armbar. He had a bunch of submissions in, and he just never closed the show.
Yeah, I didn't like it. Volkanovski now has 8 featherweight title fight victories, tying the legend Jose Aldo. He's beat Max Holloway 3 times. He's beaten T-City. He's beaten the Korean Zombie Yair Rodriguez, and now he's beaten Diego Lopez twice. We got a number 1 contender match that was just announced, and we'll get to it a little later, but Mosvar versus Lerone, and the winner has to verse Volkanovski.
100%. Those two guys were up there for it, and we thought they'd give it to Lerone, and that's why I argue for that BSD Armin, because it's the same type of situation where Mosvar was kind of looked over. Same thing with Armin. You get two guys that have been active, you get him in there, and you see who's the true number 1 contender.
Who poses a more threat to Volkanovski, Lerone Murphy or Mosvar?
It's Evloev.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's my Evloev. That grappling, I think it's not just based off he'll catch you in a submission. It's that he can literally take away your strengths. With Volkanovski's going to be the footwork on the feet, stand up and all. If he can just take him out of his element, Mosvar can completely take over a fight against anyone.
Can I give you a curveball that I think if you throw him in a title fight against Volkanovski, he has more of a finishing capability as the guys we just mentioned?
Conor McGregor.
The champion, Aljamain Sterling. He will take your back and he can finish you. He has championship experience. He's conditioned.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, though. And he beat Mosvar. I scored it for Aljo as well. So
wow.
You throw Aljo in there, and I'm telling you, he could give Volk a run for his money.
Weighing as the backup. Yeah, he's got that championship credentialed and stuff like that. Hey, if Merab was continuing to be champion, he defended against Jan, they probably would have argued for Merab to move up.
But Aljo's literally 1 fight away. He's at
just
5.
like Mosvar. Yeah, I think that winner of that fight was very important for the trajectory of their careers at 145. But yeah, Mosvar came on top, so he's a little bit closer. But for Aljo's sake, like you're saying, yeah, he poses a big threat with the experience he has. It's just maybe I would say he has to weigh in as a backup just to kind of get the.
But we've seen that time and time after. That doesn't do anything for you. That doesn't guarantee you a title.
It hurts you.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And what do you get? A paycheck? That's
You do
it.
get paid. I think you do get show money, but that's it. Yeah, you're right. You're getting some money in the bank for just making a weight. Who knows? You could wind up like Bryce Mitchell and have to take a fight in a week or 2 weeks notice, and it just doesn't do good for you. Tony Ferguson had to cut weight.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Bryce Mitchell, he was on a pod. I think he was on the Tim Show pod.
Welch?
Yeah, no, the Timbo, Sean's coach.
That's what I said. Tim Welch.
Tim
Bro,
Welch.
we took
Yeah,
a picture with Big Tim.
no, I know he's a legend, and Bryce was on, and he goes, "I've asked for fights. They won't give me a fight. I don't know if I'm with the UFC." I love Bryce Mitchell. I've actually grown to really like him. I think he's a great guy.
He's one of a million.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was a cool card. I think they fixed some things. We saw the walkouts.
Yeah, not as many ads. Able to hear the corners. They did improve from their first production, but I think kind of a rocky start. I would have to say, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I do think they were a little subpar, but definitely an improvement from the first PLA or numbered event, whatever you want to refer to it.
Yeah, so definitely. How was your bets? I did not do good.
No, I don't think I did too well either. This sucks, man. It's not easy right now going into the year, but we are 4-6. So out of the 10 bets I made, a little under 500.
And then after it went right into Madison Square Garden, one of the best fights I've seen, and we got to do our pound for pound rankings because Shakur is up there for me now. He has to be a top 5 pound for pound fighter. I mean, he just put on a master class. We
always had him at 10 because he never got a fight like this, and now that he did, I mean,
he defeated Timofey Lopez via unanimous decision, 119-109 times 3. It was a near perfect performance from him. I didn't think Timofey could touch him. He won one round, I thought, and I just think the power wasn't there. Maybe he's a little past his prime, but he just couldn't get it.
That
I
argued about, talking about the UFC and mixed martial artists maybe having to change a few things. Did you see the corner work from his pops? Not what I would expect from that high level.
Where's your power go?
Or hit him. Just hit him. Like, that's not helping a fighter who's fighting against Shakur Stevenson, who's smoke and mirrors. He's throwing a jab out there, and he's not where he last was. So I think, unfortunately, it's your father. It's not easy, but it might be best to go and get some other training advice.
I mean, he just couldn't get out of the way of Shakur's jab.
That's right.
I mean, as impressive as Shakur has been in his career, this probably was his best performance and probably his biggest fight of the career.
In the biggest moment, he did his best.
And you saw Bud, how happy he was for Shakur as well.
Bud was lit.
He was lit.
Floyd have a little something to do with Shakur too. They're like all promoting him.
They're all him.
And then
Andre
Conor
Ward.
Ben steps in there, and I'm like, bro, Shakur is gonna make quick work of
well,
Conor
real
Ben.
quick, he won the WBO super lightweight title, and then you mentioned they face off with Conor Ben. I think he would do the same thing to Conor Ben if
Maybe
I'm being
worse.
honest.
I think he could finish Conor Ben. It's hard with Shakur's power, but the fact is, man, if he gets a lot of unanswered shots in there, that's the thing I worry about Conor is him shelling up in the corners. If he rope-a-dopes a little bit and turns a corner and puts Conor Ben into the corner,
it's over.
10 shots to the body, 10 shots to the head, I'm sure a referee will call it.
It was unfortunate, though, because Shakur was stripped of his WBC title a couple of days ago. They stripped him.
They did this again?
Yeah, of the lightweight world title. He did just win on Saturday. He won the ring and the WBO junior welterweight belt against Lopez. But yeah, the WBC stripped him. We saw that when they did it with Usyk.
They did it with Bud too.
Yeah, he is a 4-division champion, though. Shakur,
he's not in the top 5. He's probably 6 on my pound for pound ranking now.
We will have to do them soon
100%.
because I think it's been a few months since we did our updated ones.
And we almost hit, bro. I had all these picks on the money. I'm going into the Keyshawn Davis co-main event fight right into the 12th round. I'm like, bro, he's easily winning by decision. Knocks out Jermaine Little. I'm like,
but it was good to see. It was good to see Keyshawn get back on track after that whole debacle, missing weight in his hometown. But getting the stoppage and, like you said, in the 12th round, that was really good for Keyshawn Davis.
Should have taken the over in that one or something. Did you see Shushu? I think a lot of people love Bruce Carrington, bro. He's a sleeper, but he is a sleeper.
Did you watch Zuffa boxing?
A little bit. I feel like they needed catching up to do.
Yes,
it's like bland. If I give all the criticism we've given boxing throughout the years, I think we're going to start a criteria list for what the difference is between Zuffa and what you're doing and what boxing does.
All right, kid. Anything else over the weekend? I think we hit everything, right?
Yeah, totally. We had a bunch to do last weekend, and it don't stop. We got more this weekend and the next and the next.
It just never fucking stops. All right, kid, before we do that, let's a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching BKFC Knucklemania 6. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at Axe Cake Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid. Real quick, I got some news off the bat for UFC Vegas 113. It's not off to a hot start. 4 weight misses for UFC Vegas 113.
I cut slack for only the last minute replacements for Saeed Nurmagomedov not getting the visa acceptance.
Well, Gianni Vasquez missed bantamweight by 5 pounds. Wong Kong missed weight by 1.5 pounds.
Not the first time.
Eduardo Murata missed weight by 1.5 pounds.
So that fight is a catch weight.
And Mutin Garfudov.
Mutin Gafrov. Yeah, he missed by 5. That is ridiculous.
He missed by 5. The Vasquez and the fight I just said, they both been fined 25. And Kong and Murata, their fines cancel each other out, and neither will be eligible for bonuses. But the fight will continue.
Interesting. Wow. And is it at a flyweight? Even though they both miss weight, it's catch, right?
No, it's not catch weight either.
So it's going to be a bantamweight fight.
Yep.
Wow. How about that, bro? So I mean, yeah, that's what I say. Like Muin Gafrov missing 5 pounds is unacceptable. You had a whole camp, but Giannis, you said Jimenez, he stepping in. Gianni Vasquez, stepping on 2 days' notice. You got to cut him some slack. So let's kick it off, right? We're ready for UFC Vegas 113 back at the Apex, giving you your yearly call to come into the warehouse. And now this bantamweight matchup kicks off for the women here. And Priscilla Cachoeira, a quick turnaround for her. She's a slight dog, plus 135, taking on Claudia Segula at minus 150. Now, I faded Segula after her loss in the first appearance of the UFC, but she won her second. So I guess that's why she's getting a little bit of the odds here. Priscilla Cachoeira hasn't looked too great as of late, but every so often she finds a way to catch a knockout. And I'm just going to go dog hunting to start. We love doing it early. I'm going to go Cachoeira as the dog. I'm going to take her with the KO TKO at plus 265 because that seems to be our only way to win.
Mm-hmm.
Any opinion on that? You think I'm accurate?
No, I gotta play for the next one.
Yeah, I would hedge it with Segula decision because I haven't seen too much coming out of Segula camp. Polish power is always threatening, but I just feel like she'd probably be modest and probably take it to the judges. But another Polish fighter, one who did make weight in this match, bantamweight, Jacob Wiklax is a dog. He is plus 120, and he's taking on Moin Gafrov minus 125. I seen as a favorite, and I'm going to take Jacob Wiklax because, yeah, Moin Gafrov does have submissions. He does have finishes, but if it goes to the judges, 5 out of every 10 fights he has there, he's the loser. So he's losing about half of his decisions he gets there. Jacob Wiklax is known to be a grinder, and he's going to have the advantage on the ground with his wrestling. So I like the KSW upstart. Give me Jacob Wiklax. Mind you, he was a champion there at KSW. It was the highest level of European mixed martial arts we got. Let me get the dog here early, plus 120.
It's funny that you mentioned KSW because I was talking to someone on from Combat Sports today, and we were talking about how KSW's kind of fallen off recently, but Jacob has not fallen off. I mean, you mentioned it, and I think Gusarov kind of found his footing, back-to-back wins, but he missed weight. I like the dog here. I got him at even money with Jacob, and if you watch him in KSW, he has a dominant ground game. He's hard to back up on the feet, and he's only had one fight, but he beat Patchy Mix. A lot of people didn't think that. So, we didn't see much of the wrestling. However, his jiu-jitsu game led to sweeps, submission attempts. He ultimately won the rounds to win the fight. So, I think that could play here in this fight as well. So, Yeah, I'm gonna take Polish Pride here, Jacob.
Let's do it, my man. So, I'm gonna have something building for us here. I'm liking the women. We know women here at Axe Kick Picks, and I like this flyweight matchup. Even though both women have missed weight, I think the odds wouldn't have changed if it was just Edward Moore missing weight. I do like the percentages as it goes, but I think 2025 and 2026 has shown that missing weight doesn't always amount in a win. And Kang Wang, she's very serious on the feet. I think it's the worry that if it hits the mat. But I think last time she showed a little bit of promise that she's actually worked on it. And I do think Edward Moore being so limited, if Kang Wang could just stop the takedown, I feel like she has the ability to knock any women out at flyweight. So I'm going to go with Wang KO TKO at plus 340 here as well. I got to squeeze that favorite down. It's just too much any which way besides that. So like I said, if you put her and Cachoeira together with their KO TKOs, you're getting plus 2,000 and up odds. I might want to start off with that. Maybe I'll add a third leg when we get to the next women's fight. Anything for you?
No, not until the main card.
All right, so we'll just keep rattling it off. I got no official play with, like we talked about, Yanni Vasquez stepping up at short notice. I don't think you can back him here. I think Javid Basharat, as long as he's coming in healthy, making weight, minus 700, though I do think Fareed's a little bit better. I think this is a matchup he should win, but I'm just not willing to back him. So no official play for the last-minute replacement for Basharat and Yanni Vasquez. But we get right on the horse again with the women's strawweight matchup. Bruna Brazil, fighting nerd, but I just don't think she's fighting like a nerd. I feel like she's gotten a couple sneaky wins, and arguably that she shouldn't have won. Caitlin Souza has always been a dog in there. I do like the minus 135 favorite in Caitlin Souza here. I think you look at Bruna Brazil and the way that she's a little bit long, you would think that she would use her length well, but she keeps her chin up. She keeps her body up when she's throwing kicks and when she's throwing punches. Like, she doesn't want to get hit, and Caitlin Souza, I think, could tag her. So I think sooner or later it's going to happen for Caitlin Souza, and I'm going to take her as well. I got all three women's fights ending in KO TKO. So Caitlin Souza via KO TKO by itself is plus 575. But if you were to add it on that third leg of that parlay I made, you're getting plus 10,000 odds. So it's 100 to 1. But man, I'm thinking we're getting some finishes with these mean women we have on this card. Smaller octagon too, mind you. So I got this Nico fight going on next. Welterweight matchups, Nikolai taking on Nico Price. Verenikov is minus 255. Price is plus 250. And D-Rock, I'm going dog hunting here. Give me Nico Price. I know, as you say, it's kind of surprising seeing some of these fighters not looking too good as of late. But you know who hasn't looked all too good? And I think he snuck away a win last time is Verenikov. And I just want to take the plus 250, dog in Price. He has a way to kind of win some fights, and it's a long shot here. I think the least confident one I have all of them, but I just can't back Verenikov. So I'm going to fade him. It's more doing the fade of Verenikov and backing a UFC vet who's been there, done that at plus 250. I got to take the dog in the middle of this card.
The battle of the Nikos.
Yeah, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of went under the radar. Nobody saw it, but now we've made it to the main event of the prelims, right? Or is this the start of the main card?
No, this is the last fight in the prelims.
Well,
5 p.m., by the way.
Yeah, early start. I like it, man. But Alex Morono, plus 525, man. I think he's been kind of worrisome when he gets out there. I think the chin's gone. I think the athleticism is as well. I think he's getting up there. Mind you, isn't he promoting a fight league? Doesn't he have his own promotion? And he's a full-time head coach. Alex Morono may have, we talked about, we're not in the business of retiring fighters, but he certainly has one foot out the door. Daniil Donchenko, I mean, he's very scary. The Ukrainian guy, he's known to get knockouts first or second round, so he's going to come out like a bat out of hell. I just think it's a bad recipe for Morono in the shape that he's in. So unless Morono surprises with one of his patented submissions, I think he'll get caught, and I think it'll happen early. So to squeeze the minus 500 down for Daniil Donchenko, give me the Ukrainian first round KO TKO at plus 180. Man, let's get started with this main card. And man, we're talking about your boy Dustin Jacoby here. Minus 160. I think more odds have gone in his favor. It might be swelled up a little bit more, but Orange Julius Walker, plus 155, man. I think he has a lot of toughness, and I do think he has that wrestling and grappling. But, man, if I'm looking stand up, I see a lot more sloppier in the striking with Julius Walker than I do Justin Jacoby. Justin Jacoby is one of the more refined strikers at light heavyweight. He might be one of the best strikers at light heavyweight, but it takes a complete game. So I think this is a battle of styles. If Julius Walker gets into the mat, you've seen Jacoby like a fish out of water trying to survive down there. But I think the same can be said for Walker on the feet. I think Jacoby could piece him up. I think it favors him with the KO, TKO, or the decision, but playing him at minus 160 is fine by me. I'll take the Hanyak, Dustin Jacoby here on the money line.
Love it.
You had, though, pick on that first main card fight?
No, I'm right next. You could start me off here.
And I'm going to do that right here because I think this is the best fight of the night. I do.
Really?
I think John Matsumoto is the real deal, and Farid Basharat, as I said, is the better of the Bash brothers. I think he's more technical, and I think he's also undefeated, is he not? He just has the 1-no contest. So hasn't yet lost. Contest. Will he suffer a loss to the hands of John Matsumoto, D-Rock?
Absolutely not. I mean, the look at the number. Minus 315, minus 300.
I saw minus 270 when I got to it.
Yeah, money keeps going in on the better Bash brother. And I agree. Honestly, I thought the older brother was better at first. But I think now Farad is a little better. But Juan Matsumoto, I mean, you just got to watch out for the first round. Because who is his one loss to? The New England Mafia, fucking
Alvin Cater?
Rob Font. So, yeah, I just don't think Juan Matsumoto, he's good. He's young. I just don't think he could. The ground game is there for him, and I think Basharat is going to get him. He's going to win rounds, and ultimately over 2.5 rounds I like as well. But I don't think I know he came back after that loss and won kind of a split decision win, Matsumoto, but he's young. He has a lot to learn.
I like Basharat. Don't get me wrong, man. But there's been something in the water for me of fading these Basharat brothers. And you haven't seen it with Ferocious Farid, but you said it, man. He's young. He's kind of vicious, bro. I think that you talked about levels, fighting a certain level. He got Rob Font, bro. And yeah, he lost, but he went to decision with him. Did he not?
Yeah,
right?
Don't matter.
He had a lot of experience earned from that fight. And at plus 270, I would watch out for the finish from Jan Matsumoto finishing Farid Basharat. I'm taking plus 270 dog here. Jan Matsumoto, I think he's actually one of the dark horses for the bantamweight division. I'm very high on Jan Matsumoto, and I got to go all in on him. So plus 270, give me the dog.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, bro. Head to head, we had to do it one time too.
I love it.
Now we're getting excited. Now we're getting into it. Now we're getting to another fighting nerd. We're getting Mikhail Aleksiejczuk at minus 420. Love the number. Taking up Marc-Andre Barrel at plus 400, man. And as much as we may have argued with like some of like Alex Morono or whoever, I think Barrel also has looked pretty bad. And that's where you're getting the plus 400 odds. I think you're going to agree with me. I think the way Aleksiejczuk gets caught in his career is with first-round submission, and that's just not on the table for Barrel. He's a power bar guy, grind you out, win on the judges' scorecards, or win late, or kept going to catch you. I think he had that one surprise knockout he had in the past 5 fights, but I think that was the exception, not the rule. The rule for me, you take Husar, you take Aleksiejczuk, you take the new invigorated fighting nerd with the first-round KO, TKO at plus 135. Let's squeeze those odds down.
Yeah, taking him, Michel Olejniczak, plus 135, like you said, via KO, TKO. I expect it. He has gone so much better for the fighting nerds. And you know what he's realized? Don't go to the ground. Just stand up. Under 1.5 as well at minus 160. I like that. But, I just expect Michel Olejniczak to finish Barriat, in the first, second round. But I just don't think Mark, he lacks speed. I just don't think he's defensively sound as well, and I just think Michel's going to finish him here. So, yeah, plus 135, and I like the under 1.5 rounds at minus 160 as well.
That's great. Great play right there, my boy. Let's do the featured bout here. We got heavyweights, and I do think we need some reinvigoration here at this weight class. Jailton Almeida, we thought we'd seen it back in Charlotte. And the odds makers have him as a slight favorite, minus 140. But will the PED-less Rizvan Kunaev have a chance here at plus 145? If you ask me, if it hits the mat once again, it's over. Anything?
Oh, me. Yeah, I think if you want to go dog hunting, this is the one. I mean, whatever happened to fucking jail time? I mean, This is him. If it hits the ground, yeah.
He's going to win.
He's going to win. But we saw last fight, he didn't do that. Why?
He couldn't get it there.
he spent the whole 3 rounds trying to get it there. And if he does that, he's going to lose the fight.
Yep.
And yeah, you could talk, but he's beaten Henna Ferreira. And yeah, he was a little juiced, allegedly. But now he's training with him down in American Top Team down in Florida. So I like him here. And I just think if he has it standing on the feet, it's over for him. He might not.
So you're back in jail time.
No, I'm not.
Whoa.
I'm backing the dog. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I just don't think jail time. He's going to spend all 3 rounds trying to get it to the ground, and if he could stop the takedown, he's live.
Yeah. No, I agree. But it's just that it's like every time we have seen Almeida, as boring as it has been with his inability to maybe ground and pound, I mean, it seems impossible for these big fat guys to get up. And Kunaev post PED is that he's just a fat heavyweight. So I got to go Gelton Almeida. I'll lay the chalk because I do think if he does get it down, maybe a bunch of unanswered shots could give him the ground and pound finish. But the submission's on the table. And if he's on top for 3 rounds, obviously it'll be the easy judge for
who has the power in this matchup.
I would say Kunaev. I do think. And that's why I said if it's on the feet, if he doesn't play it smart, Kunaev could catch him. But I think that's the thing. It might be limited to if he steeps on the feet, he'll have the stand-up advantage. If he could get the nod on the judges, that's where it will take place. But anytime this gets to the ground, I don't think he's going to have the precision that Almeida will with the grappling exchanges.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I like that. I
love the dog hunting, though. I think
I also like the over 1.5 rounds.
Yeah,
as well.
I would take over. And I think you're seeing more and more heavyweights hit over because it's just, unfortunately, the product for the heavyweights is going downhill.
It is. But you could, I also say, let the heavyweights juice. It's more
Why
fun.
Why not? Any division.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
But the over 1.5 rounds is at -140. I see -135. I think that's very playable.
I think as we get closer to tomorrow, it's probably going to get jumped on. So do it now. Now we go to the penultimate matchup. As my boy D-Rock always likes to say, this co-main event consists of flyweights. Amir Albazi plus 310 taking on Kyoji Horiguchi -300. D-Rock, I got to give you my play. Yeah. I love Kyoji Horiguchi, man. And I think he's a really good fighter, but everyone and their grandmother's on him here to make him -300. I think the line should be a little bit closer. And I get it. Albazi didn't look too good against Brandon Moreno. But I'm going to take Amir Albazi here. I just have to fade the public. I think it may be Kyoji Horiguchi doesn't have too much luck in the UFC. And maybe Albazi can find it here to get a win. But it's more or less of me just going dog hunting, taking some value here with a guy who's fought in the UFC for quite a while, but doesn't have necessarily found his footing compared to Kyoji, who never found his footing in the UFC, got to the title shot, and then left the promotion and, became a champion elsewhere. And he's going for round 2. And I do support Kyoji Horiguchi. And I hope he gets back to the title. I would love to see him against Josh Fan or Pantoja, whoever it may be. But I'm going with the value here. I think everyone's overlooking Amir Albazi, and I think that he's a stout dude. I think he's strong here. And remember, Kyoji Horiguchi's 38 now? I think age could always catch up, especially at the lighter weight classes. So it's not always sunshine and rainbows returning to the UFC, as many people hope will be good for Kyoji Horiguchi. It might not be. Reality hits hard. Give me Amir Albazi plus 310.
Yeah, nothing here. I mean, it's too big of a number for me. You got to lean dog, dog or nothing, or you want to put Horiguchi in your parlay. Yeah, I can't play him though. -400.
Yeah, I was shying away from parlays as much in 2026, but I felt like the women was certain to get involved with the early fight. So we've done it. We've made it to the main event of UFC Vegas 113 in the Apex. And man, this is a high stakes bantamweight matchup for both Mario Batista, who is slightly favored at -130, taking on Vinicius Oliveira. Loc Dog plus 135. D-Rock, I need your opinion on this main event.
Loc Dog. I mean, he has the power and he has the speed, but he's never gone 5 rounds like Mario Bautista, who, he just gave Umar a really tough fight, even though he did lose. I just think with the experience, I just think this is a terrific clash of styles, but he's not on Mario Bautista's level of the competition that he's faced. His depth of experience, he's a well-rounded fighter. And I just think Loc Dog has a lot to prove yet. And the longer this fight goes, the more I think Bautista's going to look dominant, and his forward striking pressure is just going to be too much to overhandle. So I just think, honestly, this is a huge step up in class for the Brazilian at this stage of his career. So I'm going to take Mario Batista. I like the over 4.5 at minus 135 as well. I think it could go all 5 rounds, but yeah, give me a Mario Batista.
Yeah, I think for Loke Dog, it's just to find that chin, try to get Mario Batista out of here. I think that's his path to victory. Maybe submission. I haven't seen him too much on the ground there, but there's too many question marks for me to back Vinny Oliveira in this vain event. It's really early in his career to decide. Mario Batista has tried and tested, dispatches Apache Bix. He moves him out of the company. I mean, he was right there, almost into a title shot. He ran into a couple tough matchups, but I think he can put the cruise control on in this one for some strange reason. I think if he becomes dominant in the extent, I think Oliveira is not going to want to push the envelope too much. So, yeah, Mario Batista minus 130 is fair enough for me to take in the money line. But if you want to squeeze more out, I agree with you, D-Rock. I think this is an over fight, and I think you could take Mario Batista via decision. But I'm not willing to do it. He may catch it with the amount of volume and footwork that he possesses. Mario Batista could find Oliveira and hurt and get him out of there. So I'll just lay it on the money line. Give me Mario Batista.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, we're in alliance there. We just think the step up in competition might be a little too much for Lock Dog at this stage.
I like that, dude. That knockout of Sopaj and like everything. He's got explosive highlights, but sometimes all that, glitz and glamour doesn't amount to a successful win.
Exactly. By the way, if you forgot, Paramount Plus, new start time, main card, 8 p.m. and prelims go off at 5.
I love that. 8 on regular cards and 9 for like numbered.
Yep. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Kid, by the way, on Saturday, if you didn't know, now you know. We got BKFC Knucklemania. Starts at 7 o'clock. Excuse me. I got acid reflex. Fuck. Prelims go off at 7, and then we got the main card going off at 8 p.m. I think it's live or free. It's on Fubo Sports. I think it's on YouTube as well. I think it's on DAZN
too.
DAZN, absolutely. It is.
They're getting their signs, bro. They're getting their packages together.
Yeah, I love it. But obviously it's headline in the main event. 1 year to the date. Big Ben Rothwell, 4-0, won the title in Philly, now comes back to take on an amazing story in Andre Arlovsky, who he's a 3-time cancer survivor. And I asked him about it, and he said, you know what? I beat cancer 3 times. Big Ben Rothwell is nothing compared to cancer. He goes, he's meatball and fucking cheese. I go, wow, let's go. And that is the reason I am taking the former UFC champion, the first ballot Hall of Famer, and
the Pitbull,
Andre Arlovsky at plus 138. I'm sorry, Ben, but I'm taking Andre here.
And I know that's our boy, man. And as much as, I love Andre Arlovsky, you can't sleep on Big Ben. I'm going with Big Ben Rothwell, minus 185. I think there's something serious about him. At bare knuckle, you talk about the, a little bit of weight and stuff like that. That's extra padding to take a shot. And mind you, Arlovsky's chin at the later stages of his career has a little
47.
Decline. A little bit of decline there, a little bit of concern. He had it in his past too. I think in the UFC, he got 2 dubs, but
2-0.
Yeah. But and also they talk about Big Ben Rothwell going 0-2, and you brought that up with him, 0-2 against Arlovsky career. So I definitely understand why you take Arlovsky here with the precedent, but I think he gets his dub in BKFC. So I'm going Big Ben Rothwell defending his belt.
Must win or can't lose?
Can't lose. That's a great question.
He made a good point. Like, that was UFC. This is bare knuckle fighting. It is totally different. And I agree with Ben Rothwell. I really do. It is a different game. He's been there and done that. The co-main, I was really bummed that Yoel, honestly, gauging Dave Feldman, he wasn't too happy because, he pulls out of the chief support, and then
he pulled out of RAF a couple weeks back too.
And then he just announced he got another fight in Europe.
Not cool.
Yeah. Dave, he started this in a garage on the side streets of fucking Philadelphia, and he's built it up to what it is today. You don't play around with really good guys like that. So I kind of felt bad, and Yoel's a legend, but like, you just don't do that. Now, I'm not questioning if he was actually sick. He was sick.
Yeah.
But just don't go and take another fight within like weeks later. That's
gotta give it a little, rest,
breathing time, And regardless, I thought he was going to lose to Lorenzo, the Juggernaut Hunt. Anyway, I like Dave Mondell, but
I was going to say I think it's a better fight. I think Dave Mondell, he's pound for pound number 1. But this fight's going to indicate who's going to be the true number one pound for pound fighter for BKFC. I think Dave Mundel's live here, but don't get me wrong. I've backed Lorenzo Hunt time and time again, and he's cashed for us numerous times. I think either guy can absolutely knock out one another. And the bet that I would make is just I haven't seen it. Once again, I'm so upset with the sports books not having these odds drop. But you talk about two fighters that can take it and give it. Both of them in their most recent fights have been knocked down and come back to knock out their opponent. So my bet would be both fighters to be knocked down. It's simply that. You got Dave Mundell with his knockout power, Lorenzo Hunt with his knockdown power. I'm sure one another are going to catch one another and will both be knocked down. But I couldn't tell you who's going to wind up winning this Cruiserweight Championship. I think either guy can absolutely do it. So, hey, may the best man win. But that would be my bet for both fighters to be knocked down because they both have it.
Yeah, no value here. There's no props. You could just take it straight up. Right now, it is minus 220 for Lorenzo Hunt, plus 185 for Dave Mondell. And by the way, Ben Rothwell, minus 200, plus 170 for Andre Arlovsky. If you want to take it, Joe does like both favorites here. Maybe put them in a parlay. Try to get at least some value in it if the sportsbook allows you to parlay these. Yeah. The next fight between Ben Bonner and Tony Soto, it's a pick'em. Minus 110 both ways. It should be a really good fight. What are we thinking here for Ben Bonner? Yeah, it's a rematch.
And Bonner got the best of Soto last time, but albeit close. Tony Loco Soto, I got to back him here because he was the champ. He has fought at the highest level of bare knuckle. And don't get me wrong, Ben Bonner's tough, but I just think you see this guy again for the second time. When I got Tony Loco Soto, I got him at plus 107. So now that he's a pick'em, shows money came onto his side, and I'm comfortable taking him at the dog price.
And he's fully healthy. Like, he went into the first fight with Ben Bonner hurt.
Yeah,
and now he's fully clear.
Remember how active he was? Tony Soto was very active.
He's very active, and I think he's a little cringy, Ben Bonner. He was the only one that showed up in the press conference shirtless. Like, he's a little cringy, if I'm being honest. But this next fight, I think it's going to be the fight of the night. I cannot wait. We
middleweights,
middleweight.
Johnny Cannoli,
Garbarino. My Paisan 3-0. And I think he's literally the future of I think he could be the face of BKFC.
Yeah, he's only fought in Philly, too. And he's getting dubs every time he's fighting in his backyard.
Against Kane Tomlinson Jr., who...
I know Kane, though. I've seen him in North Carolina. I've seen him down here in South Carolina. Broken fight. He's a tough out. He's a big dude.
2-2.
It's a tough matchup against Johnny Garb.
And he got beat up by a cannoli already.
Yeah, the cannoli got whipped in his face. Yo, Johnny Cannoli, you got to need when that cannoli's coming on stage. I'm not going out there until he drops that out of his hand. I'll tell you that much. Get it out of his hand.
My boy Kane had a belt.
That's why I thought he threw it. I was like, bro bought a weapon to stage. He's like, here's a cannoli to the face. And I agree where your synopsis came to this is going to be fight of the night because, you know, Garb is getting his opponents out of there with knockouts. But like I said, I know Kane to be as tough as nails. I would actually find value in taking Johnny Cannoli via decision here. I think you're right. This could be fight of the night. I think Johnny Garb is going to give Kane his best, but I think Kane was going to take it and give something that Johnny hasn't really seen yet in BKFC.
I don't think it goes. I just don't. These guys hate each other.
Yeah. Johnny always brings that into his fights, that animosity. But like I said, I mean, all it takes is a couple shots to get some respect. And if he doesn't respect Kane Tomlinson now, he may during the fight.
Those are the only ones I really had.
I like everything you covered. I only had Patrick Brady over Bear Hill. I seen Bear Hill being tough, and he's 2-0 in bare knuckle, but he's just I think he gets tagged too much, and Patrick Brady can probably bull rush him in the first. So I'll take the big Irish heavyweight.
I like it, kid. Should be a really good time. I'll be covering that, so I'll enjoy my time in Philly. But before we go, we got some news to cover real quick. I mentioned it at the top. We have UFC London main event between Movsar Evloev taking on Lerone Murphy. It's a title eliminator. March 21st in London at the O2 5-round featherweight main event. What do you like here? Who do you think's the favorite?
Well, favorite, even though it's in London, I still would think Movsar. I do think it may be like minus 160.
Guess the odds. Oh,
minus 160 for Movsar, plus 135, plus 140 for
Movsar, minus 235.
Whoa!
Plus 200.
Too disrespectful. That makes me want to take Lerone Murphy with that type of odds. But maybe it's saying something. Maybe we haven't seen Lerone tested, right? He's undefeated, but where's the fight's been on the mat, right? He's been able to stuff takedowns and keep the fight standing. And if it is standing, though, I think it could be Lerone Murphy's fight.
Oh,
I
okay.
like the Miracle. I've backed him plenty of times, but if anyone could thwart all these stand-up guys at featherweight, it's the wrestling credentials of Movsar Evloev.
We also heard on this card, I was surprised at this. Michael Venom Page is going to take on Sam Patterson.
That's so interesting.
I was just going to say, very interesting. Were you surprised that this was the fight that was announced for MVP?
I've seen people make posts about it that they're arguing that, Venom Page, MVP, he can fight challenge. He can fight title challengers. He can fight the top 5, but he's going to fight Sam Patterson. Big step down in competition, in my opinion. And there's a lot to lose for him. I mean, Sam Patterson gets a win. He's playing with house money. He's in the top 10 of the division. So, I mean, it's crazy to say that this is the matchup we're going to get, but may be a treat for the fans. You get two kind of like home country guys, and may the best one win. Let's see a clash of styles there. I would definitely favor MVP, though.
We have a new UFC Mexico main event February 28th in the flyweight division. Azul Amabayev is out. Brandon Moreno will take on Loner Kavanaugh.
Whew, they had Alex Perez right there. They had him right there. They could have done that. Alex Perez has never fought Brandon Moreno. I think that would have been better because you're getting Loner Kavanaugh stepping up the biggest level of competition, like we're arguing with Vinny Oliver, like we're arguing with Sam Patterson. I think the same here. I think you got to take Brandon Moreno.
Yeah. All right, kid. PFL Dubai, take us home. What do you got? Yeah,
Dakota Jicheva was supposed to be on this card. She missed due to injury, but it's headlined by Usman Nurmagomedov taking on Alfie Davis. Man, will the pride of England have a shot in this one? He's a plus 1,000 underdog. I'm all in on the value. Give me the axe, man. Give me Alfie Davis. He's going to defy all the odds. Usman Nurmagomedov, Saeed just dropped out. There's too much going on in their camp. I think he's looking past Alfie Davis. He's underestimating, as everyone has in the past against Alfie Davis. I'm taking the plus 1,000. Give me the 100-1 underdog. I'm taking him. He's going to be the new PFL champion.
I love it. Anything else you like on the card?
I mean, Shamil Musayev. That's our boy, bro. I'd be hard to fade him, but 10 seconds left. We talk about one card, not going to get better value this weekend than Alfie Davis.
I love it, kid. Well, enjoy the fights. Good luck on all your bets. And for Joey, I am D-Rock. Take care of yourselves, everyone, and each other. Peace.